Um, Nikola Tesla.
Yes.
How did he tap into that subconscious realm in order to get his inventions and his psychic predictions and all that stuff? I
Well,
want to
he
learn how to
came
do that.
in with a very particular ability that, again, and it's a very good example that you bring this up, because the initial ability he had would to most people have seemed like a negative affliction. Because he came in hallucinating to the point where he couldn't tell the difference between what was physical and what he was hallucinating. It was that solid looking. He trained himself to learn the difference. Once he trained himself through his passion, through his decisions, through his choices, to train himself to learn the difference, he found a way to use what used to be considered an affliction to his advantage. In other words, when he conceived of an invention, he could actually literally, physically see it in front of him as if it was actually physically there. He could literally take it apart and see where the wear and tear was, where the problems might be in the way it was constructed. He could change the idea in his mind and actually see the change happen in the machine and put it back together so that when he actually built it the first time, it worked the first time he built it because he'd already built it in the hallucination until it worked. So he turned what most people would have considered to be a horrifying affliction of not being able to tell what's real into a tool that allowed him to express his genius and his ability to connect to his own source of creation and invention. You all have some version of this idea of connecting to your own source, connecting to your own creativity, and expressing it in whatever way, shape, or form works for you. The easiest way to align with that is with the formula that we've given you. Act on your highest passion, because passion is your physical expression of your true core frequency. Do it to the best of your ability till you can do it no further. Then keep acting on the next thing that contains the highest amount of passion. And do all that with absolutely no assumption and no insistence on what the outcome should look like, because your physical mind doesn't have any way of actually knowing what the physical outcome should look like that is actually the best for you. It may sometimes guess correctly. It can use a representation in a visualization as a symbol of an ideal outcome, but that's all it is, a symbol that gets you excited into the proper state. Then you drop the symbol and allow the higher mind to actually bring you what is representative of that state, which could be many times greater than your physical mind was actually capable of imagining that it was insisting was the best possible thing that could happen, which in fact from the higher mind's perspective may have been extremely limiting. That's how you do it. And when you're in that flow, you get inspired by the things you need to be inspired by to express the things that you need to express in your physical reality. It's called knowing yourself and being yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Did Tesla create a healing machine?
Yes.
He did. And it's not allowed to be used right now, or
The technology is findable. The technology is doable. It has to do with frequency, vibration, understanding what the vibration of different diseases are, and knowing how to apply certain frequencies to them that cancel that vibration of the disease out. So it's doable. In a sense, even though some of Tesla's papers may have been taken by certain individuals who didn't necessarily prefer that the general public understand some of the things that he did, that technology is not necessarily that sophisticated.
did he have any help from the?
You all have help. You all have guidance. But understand, he was an extremely tapped in and talented individual who had extra dimensional abilities. Do you understand how he utilized what you typically call hallucinations?
Oh no, I'm not aware of that.
As a child, he experienced hallucinations so real he could not necessarily tell what was physically real and what was in his mind. He actually, over time, learned to control that ability to the point where he could actually construct in front of his eyes, as if it were physical, the devices, see them operating. If they didn't seem to operate properly, he could literally act as if he was taking them apart physically, look at where the problems were in the hallucination, repair them in his mind, put them back together, and then all he had to do when he built the device was copy the hallucination, and that's why his devices worked perfectly the first time when he built them. That's the ability that he had. You all have that potential if it's relevant for you to experience it, but you all might experience it in different ways. Nevertheless, the idea of using frequency to heal diseases is something that's relatively easy for you to accomplish, and in fact, there are many people actually investigating that already on your planet. So do your own research. Yes?
Yes.